Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're discussing an exciting hiring opportunity in cloud security that a lot of professionals have been asking about. If you're someone working with AWS, GCP, Kubernetes, or DevSecOps, this conversation is especially for you. I'm joined by someone from Ssquad Global, and we'll talk openly about the cloud security engineer role, expectations, real-world responsibilities, and what kind of professionals fit best. So let's jump right in. First of all, tell us a bit about Ssquad Global and why cloud security is such a key focus right now.
Thanks for having me. So Ssquad Global is a technology-driven organization working on scalable, cloud-first solutions for global clients. Over the past few years, we've seen a massive shift toward cloud-native architectures, and with that shift comes a very real increase in security risks. That's why cloud security is no longer optional, it's foundational. We're hiring cloud security engineers who understand that security isn't just about tools, it's about architecture, mindset, and continuous monitoring.
That's interesting because many people still think cloud security is only about setting IAM policies or enabling a firewall, but this role seems much deeper. Can you explain what the cloud security engineer will actually do day to day?
Absolutely. This role involves designing and securing cloud architectures across AWS and GCP. So from day one, the engineer will be involved in how networks are structured, how access is granted, how data is encrypted, and how everything is logged and monitored. We're talking about IAM design, VPC security, WAF configuration, guard duty, security command center, encryption at rest and in transit, and secure networking principles. It's not reactive security, it's proactive and architectural.
So this isn't a role where someone just responds to alerts all day.
Not at all. Incident response is part of it, yes, but the larger responsibility is prevention. The engineer will help secure Kubernetes workloads like EKS and GKE, protect containers, serverless workloads, and ensure that DevSecOps practices are embedded into CI/CD pipelines. We also focus heavily on cloud security posture management. So identifying misconfigurations before they become vulnerabilities is a big part of the job.
That's something many engineers struggle with, bridging development speed with security. How does Ssquad Global handle DevSecOps integration?
We strongly believe security should move at the same speed as development. So the cloud security engineer works closely with DevOps and development teams to integrate security checks into infrastructure as code using Terraform and CloudFormation. This includes scanning IAC templates, enforcing policies, and ensuring that security is automated rather than manual. If someone enjoys collaborating across teams and influencing architecture decisions, they'll love this role.
That sounds like a mature security culture. Let's talk experience. You're asking for 3 to 5 years. What kind of background fits best?
We're looking for professionals who have hands-on experience in AWS and GCP security. Someone who understands IAM deeply, not just how to create users, but how to design least privilege access models. Experience with VPC design, networking, firewalls, WAF, Kubernetes security, and scripting with Python or Bash is very important. Certifications like AWS Security Specialty or GCP Cloud Security are preferred, but real-world experience always matters more.
A lot of viewers ask this question: how important is Kubernetes security knowledge today?
It's critical. Most modern workloads are containerized, and Kubernetes introduces its own attack surface. In this role, the engineer will secure clusters, manage RBAC, network policies, secrets, container image scanning, and runtime protection. If someone understands Kubernetes security, they are already ahead of the curve.
Let's talk about monitoring and incident response. What happens when something goes wrong?
When an incident occurs, the cloud security engineer helps analyze logs, investigate alerts, and coordinate response efforts. This includes working with logging and monitoring tools, cloud-native security services, and compliance frameworks. But again, the goal is to reduce incidents through good design, not just react after the damage is done.
You mentioned compliance. Is this role heavily compliance-focused?
It supports compliance, but is not a checkbox-only role. The engineer helps align cloud environments with security best practices and compliance requirements, but always with a practical approach. Security should enable business, not slow it down.
That's refreshing to hear. Now let's talk about work culture. This role is work from office in Bangalore. Why is that important?
We believe collaboration is stronger when teams work together in person, especially for complex security discussions and architecture planning. Being in the office helps with faster decision-making, mentoring, and team bonding. For professionals who want to grow rapidly, this environment offers a lot of learning.
For someone watching this video and thinking, is this role for me? What mindset should they have?
They should be curious, proactive, and willing to take ownership. Cloud security is constantly evolving, so continuous learning is essential. If someone enjoys solving complex problems, thinking like an attacker while building like an architect, and working across teams, they'll thrive here.
Let's go a little deeper now, because many people watching are already working as cloud engineers, DevOps engineers, or even system admins, and they're thinking of moving into cloud security. One big question they have is, what kind of growth does this role actually offer? Is this just another engineer role, or does it open doors to something bigger?
That's a very important question, and honestly, cloud security is one of the fastest growing domains right now. This role is not a dead end at all. A cloud security engineer can grow into roles like cloud security architect, DevSecOps lead, security consultant, or even head of cloud security over time. Because security touches every part of the system, networking, development, infrastructure, compliance, you naturally gain a very broad and valuable skill set.
So, in a way, cloud security engineers become decision makers, not just implementers.
Exactly. Over time, they influence how entire platforms are designed. They advise leadership on risk, help teams choose secure architectures, and guide long-term cloud strategies. That's why companies value them so much.
Now let's talk about something very practical, daily challenges. Many people romanticize cloud security, but what are the tough parts of this role?
The biggest challenge is balance. You're always balancing security with speed. Developers want to deploy fast, operations teams want stability, and security teams want protection. As a cloud security engineer, you have to communicate clearly, explain risks without fear-mongering, and design solutions that don't block innovation. Another challenge is scale. Cloud environments change constantly, so manual security doesn't work anymore. Automation is mandatory.
That sounds like a role where communication skills matter as much as technical skills.
Absolutely. Someone can be technically brilliant, but if they can't explain why a certain security control is needed, they'll struggle. This role requires collaboration with DevOps, developers, product teams, and sometimes even management.
Let's talk about mistakes. What are common mistakes candidates make when applying for cloud security roles?
One big mistake is focusing only on tools. Many resumes list tools like AWS WAF, GuardDuty, Terraform, Kubernetes, but they don't explain why they use them or what problem they solved. We look for thinking, not just tool usage. Another mistake is ignoring fundamentals. Networking, Linux, identity, and encryption fundamentals are extremely important. Cloud security is built on those basics.
That's a great point. A lot of people jump straight to certifications without real understanding.
Yes, certifications help, but hands-on experience matters more. Even home labs, personal projects, or securing small environments can show real interest in capability.
Speaking of interviews, can you give viewers an idea of what interviews for this role usually focus on?
Sure. Interviews usually test real-world thinking. For example, how would you secure an AWS or GCP environment from scratch? How would you design IAM for a large team? How would you secure a Kubernetes cluster? How would you detect and respond to a breach? We're not looking for textbook answers. We want practical reasoning.
So candidates should prepare by understanding architecture, not memorizing commands.
Exactly. Understand how things connect. Understand attack surfaces. Think like both a builder and an attacker.
Another question many people hesitate to ask publicly: how stable is cloud security as a career?
Cloud security is extremely stable and future-proof. As long as companies use cloud, and that's not changing, security will be required. In fact, demand is increasing faster than supply. Organizations are realizing that one misconfiguration can cost millions, so skilled cloud security engineers are critical.
That's reassuring for professionals thinking long-term. Now let's talk about the work environment at Ssquad Global. What kind of team culture can candidates expect?
They can expect a collaborative and learning-focused environment. We encourage asking questions, experimenting safely, and improving systems continuously. Security is never done, it's always evolving. We support learning, certifications, and exposure to real-world challenges.
That's important because burnout is common in security roles.
True, and that's why we focus on automation, clear processes, and shared responsibility. Security shouldn't be one person's burden. It should be embedded across teams.
Now, imagine someone watching this video who feels underconfident, thinking, I have 3 years of experience, but I don't know everything. What would you say to them?
No one knows everything in cloud security. What matters is willingness to learn and adapt. If you understand fundamentals, have hands-on experience, and are curious, you're already qualified to grow. Confidence comes from practice, not perfection.
That's very motivating. Before we close, let's clearly restate the opportunity for viewers who joined late. Before we move toward closing, I want to touch something very real that many professionals silently struggle with. A lot of engineers feel stuck. They've been doing cloud operations or DevOps work for years, but they feel replaceable. How does cloud security change that equation?
That's a very honest question, and the answer is simple. Security creates responsibility. When you work in pure operations, someone else can always spin up servers. But when you understand security, risk, and architecture, you become a gatekeeper. You're not just executing tasks, you're protecting business continuity. That mindset alone makes your role more valuable and less replaceable.
So, cloud security is less about doing and more about deciding.
Exactly. You decide what is allowed, what is risky, and what can cause damage. You design guardrails. That's why cloud security engineers often sit in important discussions, because one wrong decision can expose customer data, money, or reputation.
Let's take a real-life example. Suppose a company is launching a new application on AWS and GCP. Where does the cloud security engineer step in?
From day zero, even before deployment, the cloud security engineer reviews the architecture, network segmentation, IAM roles, service accounts, encryption strategy, secrets management, logging, and monitoring. They ask questions like, what happens if this service is compromised? Or how do we detect abnormal behavior? This thinking prevents disasters before they happen.
Many beginners think security slows things down.
Bad security slows things down. Good security accelerates growth because teams feel confident deploying faster. When security is automated through IAC and DevSecOps pipelines, developers don't wait for approvals. They deploy safely by default.
That's a mindset shift many organizations still struggle with. Now let's talk about learning. Technology keeps changing. How does a cloud security engineer stay relevant?
Continuous learning is part of the job. Cloud providers release new services constantly. Attack techniques evolve. Compliance requirements change. A good cloud security engineer reads documentation, experiments in labs, follows security incidents, and learns from failures. This role rewards curiosity more than perfection.
What about scripting? You mentioned Python and Bash earlier. How important are they?
Very important. Automation is key. Whether it's auditing IAM permissions, scanning configurations, or responding to incidents, scripting saves time and reduces human error. You don't need to be a software engineer, but you should be comfortable automating repetitive security tasks.
Let's address another common fear: pressure. Security engineers often feel blamed when things go wrong.
That's true, and it's why maturity matters. In good organizations, security is shared responsibility. At Ssquad Global, we focus on building systems that fail safely. No one person carries the blame. We learn, improve, and move forward.
That's reassuring. Now let's talk about Kubernetes again, because this is where many engineers feel lost. Why is Kubernetes security so critical?
Because Kubernetes is powerful but complex. Misconfigured IADC, exposed dashboards, insecure container images, these are common attack points. A cloud security engineer ensures cluster hardening, network isolation, secrets protection, and workload monitoring. Once you understand Kubernetes security, you unlock a huge career advantage.
For viewers who are still at an intermediate level, what should they focus on first?
Start with fundamentals: networking, IAM, Linux, and cloud architecture. Then move to Kubernetes basics. Don't rush tools. Understand why security controls exist. Build small labs, break things, and fix them.
That's solid advice. Now let's talk about interviews again, but from a different angle. What impresses you most in a candidate?
Honesty and clarity. Someone who says, "I don't know this yet, but here's how I'd approach learning it," stands out more than someone pretending to know everything. We also value candidates who explain trade-offs and risks clearly.
So, confidence without ego.
Exactly. Security is a team sport.
Let's zoom out and talk about the future. 5 years from now, how do you see cloud security evolving?
Security will become even more automated and integrated. AI-driven detection, policy as code, and zero-trust architectures will be standard. But human judgment will still matter. Tools can alert, but people decide. Cloud security engineers who understand business impact will be leaders.
That's powerful. So this role is not just technical, it's strategic.
Very much so. Over time, cloud security engineers become advisors, architects, and mentors.
Let's speak directly to the viewer now. Imagine someone sitting at home watching this late at night, dieting themselves. What would you tell them?
I tell them this: if you're curious, disciplined, and willing to grow, cloud security is for you. You don't need to know everything today. You just need to start. Every expert was once confused. What matters is consistency.
That's a strong message.
There's something I want to bring up that people rarely talk about openly. Security roles often come with a quiet pressure. When everything works, nobody notices. But when something fails, suddenly everyone looks at security. How do professionals handle that mentally?
That's one of the most honest questions you can ask about this field. Security is invisible when done right. You won't get applause for breaches that never happened. That can feel lonely at times. But mature security professionals learn to measure success differently. Success is silence. Success is systems running smoothly. Success is sleeping peacefully, knowing things are protected.
That's a powerful way to look at it. Success as absence of chaos.
Exactly. And over time, you develop emotional resilience. You stop taking things personally and start focusing on improving systems. Security teaches humility because no system is ever 100% secure. The goal is risk reduction, not perfection.
I think many viewers need to hear that, because some people avoid security thinking it's too stressful.
It can be stressful if you try to control everything manually, but when you design systems well, automate policies, and share responsibility, the pressure becomes manageable. Good security engineering actually reduces stress in the long run.
Let's talk about leadership. Not everyone starts as a leader, but many cloud security engineers eventually lead teams or influence architecture decisions. How does that transition happen?
Leadership in security doesn't come from titles, it comes from trust. When people see that you understand systems deeply, communicate clearly, and make balanced decisions, they naturally listen. Over time, you start guiding rather than enforcing. That's when you move from engineer to architect to leader.
So leadership is earned quietly.
Always, especially in security. Loud security rarely lasts.
That's a quote right there. Now let's touch on something practical again. Many engineers worry that work from office might slow them down compared to remote roles. How would you respond to that?
Remote work has benefits, but early to mid-career professionals gain a lot from in-person exposure. Being in the same room during architecture discussions, whiteboarding security designs, learning from senior engineers, these things accelerate growth, especially in complex domains like cloud security.
That makes sense. Learning by proximity.
Exactly. Security decisions are rarely isolated. Seeing how others think sharpens your own thinking.
Let's shift perspective again. Imagine someone with 10 to 12 years of experience watching this. They're stable but bored. Is cloud security still a good move for them?
Absolutely. In fact, experienced engineers often transition very well into security because they understand systems deeply. Security needs people who've seen outages, failures, and shortcuts. That experience becomes wisdom. Cloud security doesn't punish experience, it rewards it.
That's encouraging for mid-career professionals.
Yes, security is one of the few tech domains where age and experience increase value.
Now, let's talk about impact. Many people want to feel that their work actually matters. How does cloud security deliver that?
When you secure a system, you're protecting user data, business trust, and sometimes even livelihoods. One well-designed security control can prevent massive losses. That sense of responsibility gives meaning to the work. You're not just deploying features, you're protecting people.
That adds a moral dimension to the role.
It does, and that's why people who stay in security long-term usually care deeply about quality and ethics.
Let's get very real for a moment. Have you seen situations where poor security decisions caused serious problems?
Yes, many times. Usually not because people were careless, but because security was treated as an afterthought. Open storage, overly permissive IAM, no logging, no monitoring. These aren't advanced mistakes, they're basic ones. That's why this role exists, to prevent simple things from becoming disasters.
So cloud security is often about doing the basics consistently.
Exactly. Excellence and security is boring, repetitive, and disciplined, and that's why it works.
I love that honesty. Now, before we move to the final closing, I want to ask one last personal question. Why do you believe cloud security is worth pursuing?
Because it sits at the intersection of technology, responsibility, and trust. Few roles let you influence architecture, protect users, and shape long-term decisions at the same time. Cloud security gives you that leverage.
That's a strong reason. So let's close this conversation in a way that speaks directly to the viewer.
To anyone watching this, if you feel curious about security, if you care about doing things right, if you want a career that grows with time instead of expiring, cloud security is worth your effort. You don't need to be fearless. You just need to be willing.
And opportunities like this one at Ssquad Global exist exactly for people ready to take that step.
Yes, we're looking for professionals who want to grow, learn, and build secure systems, not just follow checklists.
Let's slow this down even more, because there's a moment most professionals reach that they don't talk about. It's when they realize they've been busy for years, but not necessarily growing. They've been fixing tickets, deploying pipelines, rotating on-call duties, and suddenly they ask themselves, is this it? How often do you hear this from candidates?
More often than you'd think. And the interesting part is, most of them are talented. They're not failing. They're just not fulfilled. Cloud security attracts many of these professionals because it offers depth instead of repetition. It forces you to think, not just execute.
So cloud security becomes less about escaping something and more about moving towards something.
Exactly. Towards responsibility, towards understanding systems end to end, towards having a voice in decisions that actually matter.
I want to talk about fear for a moment. Fear of being exposed, fear of not knowing enough, fear of making a mistake. Security seems like a place where mistakes are costly.
That fear never fully disappears, and that's a good thing. Fear keeps you careful. What changes is how you respond to it. Junior professionals fear mistakes because of judgment. Mature professionals fear mistakes because of impact. That shift is what turns an engineer into a guardian of systems.
That's a powerful distinction.
And security engineers learn very early that failure is a teacher. Every incident, every misconfiguration, every near miss, these moments sharpen judgment. The goal is not to avoid mistakes forever, but to design systems that survive them.
That's something most job descriptions never say.
Because it's uncomfortable to say, but it's true. Real security maturity comes from having seen things go wrong and choosing to improve instead of panic.
Let's talk about mentorship. Many viewers ask, will I be guided or will I be thrown into the fire?
Good question. At Ssquad Global, we believe in guided responsibility.
You won't be micromanaged, but you won't be abandoned either. Senior engineers review designs, discuss trade-offs, and challenge assumptions. That's how real learning happens.
So it's not about giving answers, but teaching how to think.
Exactly. Tools change, thinking patterns last.
I want to ask something very human now. Have you ever seen someone doubt themselves so much that they almost didn't apply, but later turned out to be an excellent security engineer?
Many times. In fact, some of the best security professionals are the ones who doubted themselves early. Overconfidence is dangerous in security. Thoughtfulness, caution, and curiosity are strengths here.
So doubt isn't a weakness, it's raw material.
Absolutely. When shaped correctly, it becomes wisdom.
Let's shift to lifestyle. People often ask whether security means being on edge 24/7.
Only if security is badly designed. Good security reduces chaos. Automation, clear alerting, defined incident playbooks, these things protect not just systems, but people. A burned-out security engineer is a risk in itself.
That's rarely acknowledged.
Because many organizations learn it the hard way. We prefer learning early.
Now, imagine someone watching this who's never applied for a role like this before. They're hovering over the email, unsure. What would you say to them in that exact moment?
I'd say this: you're not applying because you already have everything. You're applying because you're ready to grow. No resume is perfect. No journey is linear. What matters is intent.
That's something people need to hear.
Yes, careers don't move forward by waiting until fear disappears. They move forward when curiosity becomes stronger than fear.
Let's talk about legacy for a moment. Years from now, what does a good cloud security engineer leave behind?
Invisible stability, systems that work quietly, teams that deploy confidently, architectures that age gracefully, and younger engineers who learned how to think responsibly.
So the legacy isn't fame, it's trust.
Exactly. And that's a rare thing in technology.
We've covered skills, mindset, pressure, growth, fear, and meaning. Let's bring it all back to the opportunity itself.
This role isn't about ticking boxes. It's about joining a team that takes security seriously and understands its long-term value. If someone wants to build depth instead of just chasing titles, this role fits.
So once more, clearly and calmly, for anyone who's stayed with us this long.
Ssquad Global is hiring a cloud security engineer with 3 to 5 years of experience, full-time, work from office, based in Bangalore. The role involves securing AWS and GCP environments, Kubernetes, DevSecOps pipelines, infrastructure as code, monitoring, incident response, and cloud posture management. Applications can be sent to hemlata@ssquad.com or hiring@ssquad.com.
There's a word that keeps coming to my mind while listening to you: choice. Because at some point, every professional has to choose whether they want comfort or growth. Cloud security feels like a deliberate choice to step into discomfort. Would you agree?
Completely. Cloud security is not accidental. People don't drift into it. They decide to take responsibility. And that decision changes how they see systems, risk, and even themselves. Once you start thinking in terms of impact, it's very hard to go back to surface-level work.
And that choice often comes quietly, doesn't it? Not during promotions or celebrations, but during moments of frustration.
Yes, late nights, failed deployments, seeing the same problems repeat, that's when people realize they don't just want to fix symptoms anymore. They want to design resilience.
That's a beautiful way to put it. Designing resilience instead of firefighting.
Exactly. Security engineers don't chase hero moments. They try to eliminate them.
Let's talk about regret. Have you met people who didn't make the move into deeper roles like security and later wished they had?
Yes, and it's always the same pattern. They stayed where it was safe, familiar, predictable. And years later, when technology shifted, they felt left behind. Not because they lacked intelligence, but because they avoided discomfort for too long.
That's a hard truth.
It is. But the good news is it's never too late. Security welcomes people who are willing to relearn and rethink.
That's important because many viewers think I should have started earlier.
Everyone thinks that, even experts. The right time is when awareness arrives.
Let's talk about responsibility again, but this time in terms of ethics. Data breaches affect real people, families, trust. How does that awareness shape a cloud security engineer?
It grounds you. You stop treating data as abstract. Logs are no longer just logs. They're traces of real users. That awareness makes you more careful, more thoughtful. Security engineers often develop a strong ethical compass because the consequences are visible.
So security is not just technical, it's moral.
In many ways, yes. You're trusted with protecting what others cannot see.
That adds a different kind of weight to the role.
And a different kind of pride.
I want to ask something that people rarely admit. Sometimes people fear security roles because they fear being judged, as if one mistake defines them.
That fear exists, but mature organizations understand something important. Mistakes reveal system weaknesses, not personal failure. The best security teams focus on learning, not blame. If someone promises 0 mistakes, that's actually a red flag.
That's reassuring.
It should be, because growth requires psychological safety.
Let's talk about identity. Many engineers define themselves by titles: DevOps engineer, cloud engineer, sysadmin. How does security change identity?
Security shifts identity from role to responsibility. You stop asking, "Is this my job?" and start asking, "Is this safe?" That's a big internal change. You become someone people consult, not just assign tasks to.
That's a powerful transformation.
It is, and it stays with you for life.
We've talked a lot about mindset. Let's talk about courage, because applying for a role like this requires courage.
Yes, courage to admit you don't know everything, courage to be evaluated, courage to grow publicly. But courage compounds. The first step is the hardest.
And sometimes all it takes is one email.
Exactly. One decision breaks inertia.
I want to imagine the future version of the viewer listening right now, 6 months after joining a role like this. What changes for them?
They think differently. They ask better questions. They see patterns they didn't see before. They feel more confident, not because they know everything, but because they know how to reason through complexity.
That kind of confidence is rare.
And earned.
Let's pause here for a moment. If this conversation were to end suddenly, what's the one thing you'd want the viewer to remember?
That growth doesn't come from certainty. It comes from willingness. If you're willing to think deeper, take responsibility, and learn continuously, cloud security will meet you halfway.
That's a strong note to sit with.
It's an honest one.
So, once again, calmly, without urgency, but with clarity.
Ssquad Global is hiring a cloud security engineer, 3 to 5 years experience, full-time, work from office, Bangalore. The role spans AWS, GCP, Kubernetes security, DevSecOps, infrastructure as code, monitoring, and incident response. Applications can be sent to hemlata@squad.com or hiring@squad.com.
And to the viewer, if you're still here, listening quietly, reflecting, that's not an accident. Some conversations meet us exactly when we're ready.
When readiness meets opportunity, growth happens.
And sometimes all growth needs is a yes.
If this conversation added value, like the video, share it with someone who needs career clarity, and subscribe for more deep, real-world tech career discussions. Thanks for watching.